Hello, beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza, your host here at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Today, I want to talk to you about how to shift realities, change from one timeline into the other. And this has a lot to do with healing, hence, Healing Through You. So, I'm going to give you a couple of examples. I'm going to tell you how I shift into the new reality, the more preferred reality that you might want. And I'm going to show you some examples of how to do that so that you can begin working on that and shifting your energy into one that has a higher frequency where disease and sadness and anger does not exist. Okay, so let's get started. My dog Teddy suffers from seizures sometimes. And it's taken me a long time to figure out what would work for him. So we've done all of the medical things, all the conventional things, and the unconventional things. Working with energy, imagining myself healing because he is an extension of me, he is my pet. And so he, as all pets, absorb things from us, and then it manifests on their bodies. They remove darkness, they remove lower frequency energies from their people's and bodies, and then it goes onto theirs. So if you are in discord, then your pet might be in discord, or it might get some type of disease or illness that will shorten their life so that you can live longer. Okay, and don't feel bad about that because it is all a chosen thing by the animal, and they do come back in a different life form. So, okay, that said, my dog has had a lot of different healings from different healers, including myself, and me doing the inner work. And one of the things that really began to shift in his favor or my favor is when I began to shift timelines. And that looks like this. I'll tell you first how it was before. First of all, when he first had his first seizure, I was completely shocked, scared, right? Like, what is this? I didn't know what to do. I had never seen it or dealt with it. I didn't know how to help him. I was putting my hands on him, sending him healing energy. But as you might know by now, the main feeling and emotion that I was experiencing as I'm watching him was fear. And as we know, when we manifest, it is the emotion that we carry within our bodies that acts as a huge magnet. The bigger and stronger your emotion, the stronger your magnet is to attract to you that experience. So if you are really having the emotion of fear or sadness, or feeling out of control, then you are magnetizing your energy field to attract more of that. So as I'm trying, quote unquote, to send energy healing to my pet, I'm also experiencing fear. What's going on? I can't help him. How do I do this? Blah, 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 blah. And that's the energy that I was sending out. Therefore, he went through his seizures, he went through the stuff, and nothing happened, right? Like I couldn't stop it, is what I'm trying to say. I couldn't help him stop the seizure or heal. So then, going back now to shifting timelines into a more preferred one, because I experienced that type of energy for several months, maybe even over a year. When he would have seizures like maybe monthly or sometimes even more often, and I would go through that emotion every single time. So now this is what I do. Now he begins to express symptoms of the seizure coming, which for him, and after so many times of this happening, I already know, right? He gets a little antsy. He wants to be right next to me. He seeks my physical comfort, where usually he likes to be on his own space, like he just likes to keep his distance a little. But when he feels something happening, he kind of gets close to me, like he knows something's going on. um his eyes begin to like wander all around, almost like he's either seeing things in space or in the different realms that I cannot see, or he is not able to see properly, and he does all kinds of different things that are not the norm for him. So now when he starts showcasing something like that. And I noticed, and this is also important that you notice, right? So that you can begin the healing, the time shifting on him. Then what I do is I just start sending him healing energy, but this time from a place of like, everything's okay. I accept you as you are. You're lovely, you're whole, you're loved, you are healthy. And we no longer need this life energy story. We are shifting now into a different story. And the new story is one where you are healthy, when you're whole, when you're loved, when you are healed, when you're not experiencing any type of discomfort within your physical body. So, as we begin to shift into that place, I'm sending him energy, I'm caressing him, I'm petting him, I'm removing energy with my hand by like, I'll show you, just petting him and imagining that my hand is removing whatever negative energy is causing the seizure. And as I go out, like that, out of the back of him, I just see that energy being removed. And you can do this as well. You don't have to know what you're doing. You don't have to see anything. You don't have to feel anything. It's just the intention that you're doing this, that you're, okay, with my hand, I will remove this energy from you and just releasing it out. You don't want to keep it within your body. You can still do it, even if you've never tried it before. It will work for you because it's your intention and your emotion of love and the extension of I already see him well. I already see him healed. Okay, so I do that, and then he continues with, showing these emotions, which usually in the past would lead onto him having a full-on seizure. So I will start doing this and I will start sending him love, expanding my love energy from my heart, seeing him engulf in my heart space, um, and keeping my attitude joyful, keeping myself happy, and beginning to see him playing around, being happy within my space, like almost like dreaming him off into a place where he's fine. He's just hanging out, he's playing, he's jumping, he's coming to me, he's doing all the things that he does when he is not experiencing something like this. And I begin to see that. And when I begin to see that, what happens is that I instantaneously get a smile, right? Because I'm seeing him being happy. So I go and I shift, and here's the shifting of time realities or shifting timelines. I begin to experience him as being well, and I'm happy and joyful. And that is the emotion that I'm tuning into. If I open my eyes and I start looking at him and I start getting fearful, which is what I used to do before, of like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? I can't stop this. It's going to happen. I know this, blah, 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 blah. What I'm doing is I am feeding that energy, the energy of he's going to have a seizure. It's inevitable. I cannot stop it. It's going to happen. And then seeing the whole thing reveal itself in front of me, right? So now I'm removing the whole part of feeding into that energy of my own emotion of what I felt when I would see this happen before. And I'm shifting me into seeing him in a place where he's already healed, happy, joyful. And by doing that, I maintain my frequency at a high level, not the one of fear. And I must align, this is a law, right? Like frequencies attract like frequencies. I must align with other high frequency energies that bring me that joy in the now. And so I just continue doing that. I keep smiling. I keep looking at him and imagining him already well. And eventually, he either falls asleep or he just lays down next to me and then he gets up and it's gone. It's done. It doesn't go on to the next level of producing itself into a full seizure. I have stepped the full seizure 5 times now since I figure out how to do this, how to shift into that timeline of keeping my energy high, my frequency high, and seeing him already healed. So it is the emotion that you feed that will keep you in your reality, whatever you're living, to continue to gather more energies and more events, life events, things that are happening to you or for you within your space that are things that are more favorable to what you want than what you don't want. It's when we begin to go down the spiral of fear, of like not being able to do enough, or not knowing what to do, or this fear of like, what in the world do I do, or I can't stop it, or the whole fear thing that, the word fear just keeps popping up for me to like explain. Then that's when we feed that emotion. We align with that emotion, we align with that energy, and then that is what happens. The universe brings us the consequence or the experience for us to experience more of that fear, which is what we were feeding. When you shift your energy, then everything around you, so it could be your dog or just the people around you, or anyone who's in your space, in your reality, will shift with you because you have shifted your energy. If you're vibrating here, you're attracting more energy at this frequency, and everything around you must align to this frequency that you are feeding into and give you experiences so that you can continue to feel and experience this frequency instead of that one. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if this is making sense, if this is if you have any more questions, or if you need more clarification on how I'm explaining it. So just write it down in the comments and I will answer that. So yeah. So, and this came up today because this happened this morning. It just happened like an hour ago that I came home and I was getting ready to record a podcast with a guest, and Teddy started featuring those symptoms. And I was like, okay, no, with this not our timeline anymore. We're done with this timeline. We're now in the timeline where you're healthy and safe. We don't need to go through this experience anymore. We've already learned from that experience. Thank you very much. And now you're whole, you're safe. And then bringing that smile, that physical smile to your face. And the only way to do that is by thinking or imagining something that will bring a smile to your face, right? So if I start imagining him playing and being joyful and happy and healthy, then I immediately begin to lift my smile, and that is a signal to my brain to, hey, you're happy now. I have just shifted my frequency. Then you have to maintain that. You must maintain your frequency there. Today, it took about 45 minutes, I would have to say, for him to calm down and then take his little rest. And then I had to get up because I had to get ready for my recording. And he got up after me because he's always following me, and he was fine. So we shifted that timeline. We shifted what was going to happen because I didn't feed into that fear. And I can tell now, of course, looking back, because it's taking me a lot of work to get to where I am right now, which is why I'm sharing it with you so that you can start from now and not have to go through all those trials and errors like I have. I'm cutting your time of healing and of shifting for you by sharing my experience so that you can just like see what you have done in the past with certain things and then shift it now, because now you have that click and you don't have to go through all the trial and error that I have done. So it took about 45 minutes. He was fine. He's still fine. Of course, he's fine. That's the expectation, but it's only because I have shifted my frequency to that is one of happiness and joyfulness and love, and it's not the one of fear of I can't do anything, of feeling less than, of feeling separate from the divine, which you are the divine. You are the creator of your own reality. So that is one of the ways that you do it. That's how I do it. How I have been working on it. Now, Teddy had a huge seizure episode a couple of weeks ago. Maybe it was last week. I don't even remember. Time is just like a blur for me. Um, but I wasn't home. So I happened to walk in home and he just started like it was already there. So all of that other pre-seizure thing happened while I wasn't home and I wasn't able to feel into that and prevent it. So he still did have a seizure, which he hadn't had one in like a long, long time. So I just wanted to put that out there as well, that, sometimes it happens and, and if he's already in that space, he's already there, I just give him all my love and my space, and I just allow him to go through whatever it is that his little body needs to go through with love and light, and allow him to move through that episode that he's having, and then I receive him in my bubble of pink light. I'm also specifically saying pink light because I'm imagining and using the energy of the pink quartz. Pink quartz. Here it is. My pink quartz. So pink quartz energy is a very healing energy. Teddy also had a session, but I don't know how many months ago, maybe even a year, with an animal communicator who used this quartz also on him, and said, if this is something to use with him because it gives him that healing protection, like a bubble of protection. So I do use that. Um, and if you don't have the actual course with you, it's okay. You just call in the energy of the crystal, and you just call in the pink quartz energy, and you imagine a pink bubble around you, around whomever it is, the space, the people, the animals around you, that you are working on shifting your timeline because it's your experience, whatever it is that you're experiencing, that everything around you shifts so that you can continue to experience the things that you're choosing that are more favorable to you than not. Okay. I'm going to give you another example. This happened several years ago. And I believe I've said this story before, but I'm going to say it again because some new people here as well. My son had a bellyache, and I ended up taking him to like one of those clinics, the 24-hour clinics. And we go in and we get seen, and the doctor comes out and he's like all panicking. And he's like, I am so sorry to tell you, but your child has appendicitis and you need to take him to emergency. And I was like, okay. I did not freak out. Inside of me, I'm thinking, yeah, that's not for me. That's not my reality. It's not my reality. But I took all the information. I got in the car, called dad, let him know we're on the way to the hospital, and I immediately started putting in, this is not my reality. This is true for him. That's what he might have seen, but I am not in that reality. This is not for me. Yet, at the same time, and this is important, I continued doing the steps that I was given. So this is kind of similar to some of the stories that I told you last week when I was talking about my backstory, that I didn't know how I was going to get to Italy, but I was still taking the steps that were going on in my regular life, like going for interviews and stuff. Even though I knew it was going away, I was still doing those things. So in this situation, I was also just taking the steps. I'm like, okay, gotta take him to the hospital, but this is not my reality. And then we get to the hospital, to the emergency. They were waiting for us because the doctor had called. So we get put right in, and then they're doing all the things that they do. And my son is like not happy. And when they did all the vitals, take all the information, you know how they do that. Then they left because they had to wait for the doctor to come. And at that point, he's laying down, he's very uncomfortable, and I just sat next to him, and I hovered one hand over his belly and another hand right above his crown. So I hovered one right here, and I put the other one around his belly, and I just started sending energy. And I was calm. And this is also important for you to know because you do not need to know what you're doing or what needs to be healed, or how it needs to be fixed. You don't need to know any of that. All you need to know or intend is, I'm sending you healing energy. That's it. Because you are magical and intelligent. Your body is super intelligent. The energy is extremely intelligent. So you don't need to understand the how things happen. You just need to intend, that's what I want to do, and then do something that comes to you. So for me, what came to me is hover your hands in these two places of the body, which I did instinctively, though didn't know why or how. I just did it, and I just sat there. And I just sat there like that. Then the doctor came, so I stopped, and he came. He examined him and made him jump. And apparently, if you have appendicitis, you cannot jump. My son does a big jump, and the doctor goes, there's nothing wrong with him, and sent us home. Yeah. It took me about 3 months after that to realize or to put it together what had actually happened. To put it together that, oh, I did that. I didn't feed into the fear of like this can happen, or this is going to happen, or this is what will have to happen, like him having an operation or something, right? I didn't feed that story. I just told myself, this is not my story. It's not real for me. And I'm just sending you healing energy. And then when the actual doctor came, he was sent out. He didn't even have to do any other testing. It was like everything was like a physical test and he was fine. And we went home and never had an issue. Like he was being fine. Important things that if you get sent to the doctor or hospital, obviously go because you don't know, right? And what the energy does is it gives you all of the power that is available to you while you are still helping yourself with the things that you are more familiar with, because that gives you a sense of peace, a sense of, I'm going to be okay. Even if this doesn't work, I'm going to be okay because I'm going there. I'm going to the doctor. If anything happens, they'll take care of him. So you have that sense of security, of trust, of knowing, and then you're just able to let go and do your thing and then see the miracles happen for you. This came up for me this morning, about 5:15 this morning when I woke up, and it's an analogy to help you see how this energy healing thing works. Okay, so I am not the healer, you are. I am not the healer, the dog is healing himself. The child is healing himself. My clients are healing themselves. I am just the connector. So imagine um, imagine your phone, right? You have your phone, and then your phone needs a cable to, to charge it. And so you connect that cable to your phone, and then the other side of the cable needs to be connected to the outlet so that you can get electricity. How does electricity work? How do you get electricity in your house? Do you know? You don't have to know. That's the same thing about energy healing. Now, you may know, you may know exactly how it works. There's a big power plant where somewhere, and then there are wires that bring it to all different places, making the going through the grid of the city, and then one of those wires goes towards your neighborhood, and then it goes to each home, and then when it goes to your home, then it connects all of the cables and wires within your home so that you can have electricity in every single wall and outlet that's installed in your house. And that's just a very simple thing. Obviously, there's more complicated or more scientific ways of explaining how electricity gets into your house. Imagine that electricity, the big electricity thing, being the energy of the universe or of God or of the divine or the big higher self or whatever it is that you work with, right? So that is the energy. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to know where exactly the grid is or where's the main power plant that brings the electricity to your house. You don't have to know any of that. You just know that it's here and it's in your walls. And if you plug something in there, that you're going to get electricity, right? That's all you need to know. You don't really care how it gets there. You just know that if I need to charge my phone, I'm going to plug it into the wall and it's going to charge my phone. The phone itself, that's us. And when it's disconnected, when it doesn't have the charge, we feel this separation from the universe, from God, from the divine. We are this little phone here, and then God, the energy of everything else, the universe is out there and it's huge and it's mysterious and it's powerful. And when I run out of energy out of here of my cell phone, I run out because I'm disconnected from the universe. Then I just need to connect to the universe. And how do I do that? I do that through this little cable, right? Or this little pad that, that you can sit on and just charge. That's how I connect to the universe, and that's how I connect to the big energy that gives my phone power. That's you. So when you are acting as the healer, like me, changing the time shift to be able to shift into a timeline where my dog is no longer suffering seizures and is healed or is acting normal because he is completely healed. Then what I'm doing is I am connecting, I am the wire that is connecting to the universe or to the wall and to the dog or to the phone. Does that make sense? I am just that connector. The energy is flowing through me, going towards the dog. The energy is flowing through your cable, going towards your phone. That's all you're doing. Now, you know how I said I'm not the healer, the dog is, or the person is, or the phone is? The phone has to want to get charged. I can have the whole electricity in my house. I can have a working cable. If the phone is broken and doesn't want to receive the electricity to be charged, it's not going to get charged. If the person, animal, whomever it is in front of you is not willing to accept this energy, then you cannot help them. You can send energy from the universe to them, like in Reiki, like in energy healing, like with good intentions, and the person will not get better or it will not shift because they are the healers. They're the ones who have to decide and choose that they want to move along to shift timelines to the one where they are already healed or where they're feeling better. They are the ones. You are just a facilitator of like, hey, I'm connecting you to the energy here, and you can do that yourself. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm just receiving more messages. So, energy healers like myself and others are here to make that connection for you or for the people who need it because they have felt so disconnected from source that they are not aware that they can do it themselves. And so by putting that charge, by being that link between source, the big energy grid, and the person in front of you, you are reminding them that this is possible. And then they begin to awaken or get activated within themselves and remember, oh, I'm just like them. I can do this. I can connect. That's all it is. It's just remembering that you can do it and then begin to practice it. So that's pretty much or basically what us energy healers do is help you remember. My goal is to help you remember so that you can begin practicing. You can begin remembering or just playing with it. Just play with the energy and try and see if it works for you. And it may or may not, or it may work half the time and half the time it may not. And that's a lot of the trial and error that I went through when it would work and it wouldn't, and I would do this and I would do that, and all those different things that I did until I figure out, oh, this is the part I was missing. Oh, that's the part that, oh, that's right. And then putting all of these things together by playing with the energy until you get it, until it clicks, until you're like, yep, this is the way. This is what works for me. This is also important because we're all different. So when you remember your power, your how, your gift, your spiritual gift, you are going to find your own unique way of being able to connect to source, to receive that energy and allow it to go through your body, right? So if you're that cable, that like the cable that connects the phone to the electricity, if you're that cable and you're gathering that information from source, from the divine, from God, and allowing it to run through your body so that you can heal yourself or others if that's what you wish to do, then you're going to feel or sense or know that you are receiving it in a specific way that makes sense for you. For me, I feel it as energy running through my body, just running through, like coming from source, and I always see that from above and leaving through my feet, and it's just running through. And my body actually gets quite cold when I run energy to help somebody remember and heal because I'm helping them raise their frequency. And that's how it works for me, but it may not be how it works for you. So when you are connecting, you begin to remember, you begin to see how things work for you. Pay attention of what you are becoming aware of. Are you hearing something, seeing something, feeling something, knowing something? Maybe it's all of them, maybe it's some of them, maybe it's something I didn't even mention that you know. Oh, this is what happens when I connect. The more you do it, the more you begin to see a pattern of how you receive energy, how you receive the messages. And then you can begin to pay attention to that and acknowledge it. And as soon as you acknowledge it, it's like it opens up and it's like, okay, here I am. Now they know. Now they understand. Now they remember. And then you feel that energy become stronger and faster, working faster for you. Okay, I think I got a little bit off the main topic of how to shift timelines to heal your space, your experience, those around you. But it was important for this part of the message to also come through, which I received this morning, and I have forgotten about it. So once I started talking about my dog and the seizure and all the whole thing, um, then this came back online. It came back online so that I could also share with you. So I hope it has been helpful for you. Let me know how it lands. Let me know how it feels, or if you had any type of experience. Let me know if you already know how you are receiving your messages or your how you receive energy, or how you know that you are communicating and that you are running this frequency, or how you have shift timelines for yourself. Let us know here in the comments, because every comment that you share about your experience will resonate with someone else who reads it, right? So if I'm saying something here and it's resonating with you, or it's awakening something, or it's bringing up a little bit of a curiosity for you, it's like waking that part up. Your comments, what was coming up for you when you share it and somebody else reads it, you begin to speak their language. So it may not be just me or whatever it is that I'm saying, but it may be your comment that helps someone. Remember, because your comment will have a different frequency, and it has different words, different combination of words of your frequency, who you are, and then that might resonate with someone else who is reading this comment. So I encourage you to share your experience, what you're receiving, because it can help others as well. As a matter of fact, I know it helps some people. So yeah, you can be a part of this too and begin to feel that sense of community with other people that are getting you. Does that make sense? All right, with that, I'm going to go. If you found this podcast and the content of it helpful, please like it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That's how other people get to find the podcast and share with anyone that you think or feel that would really resonate with this and be able to get something out of it. With that, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.